2, 3.
I know why you came. Heard I had that fire.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Peace of Mind, where we value your health, your body, and your time. And we are back again with another episode. I'm so glad that we're talking and focusing on our mental health, regardless of if one person is listening to this or multiple people are listening to this. I love to talk to myself just to give thoughts, share thoughts. Shout out to Tayo with his podcast as well. I can't be the only one because I know I'm not the only one. And it's been a long time since we've convened and conversed, and I've dropped an episode, but I definitely have been meaning to get back to it. Just getting back to a good balance, a good feat in life, and just making it do what it do, which is honestly the subject of today's topic. I have my phone up with me so I don't forget any of the things, bullet point edition. But it's why can consistency be so hard, especially when you're passionate about certain things. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. My goal of my podcast is to be optimized, effective, get in, get out, give you the information, have some call to actions. That way I can learn from you all at the same time, but also be informative. So before I dive straight into the pool, 10 feet pool, I want to do the who, what, when, where, why, how one more time of Peace of Mind, so you all can listen to it and understand kind of like what's this season is about, which it is a transformative mindset. Shout out to Romans 12:2, be transformed through your mindset. So who is peace of mind for? Literally everyone. We're not going to spend that much time on that. Peace of mind is for everybody. Mental health affects and impacts everybody, challenging positively in all different types of ways. Your mental health is your mentality, is the way you think, is the why you think, how you think, what you think, when you think it. Do you think it? Do you process it? It's for everyone. And that's why I'm struggling with the target audience of how I want to take my podcast and hopefully soon to be nonprofit organization in that way. What is it? This is a mental health repository up to date that provides people with professional and unprofessional being me at this time, knowledge of best practices, tips, experiences, journey, lifestyles, what I've been through, trying to be as transparent and as vulnerable as possible, but knowing that it can be difficult and challenging sometimes to do so. And then at I can't speak, but at some point, a time in life, giving people actual tangible resources and tips through journals and well-being books and through devotionals and through free or discounted therapy sessions for you to have those conversations through the organization, through event workshops, panels, interactive engagements and activities, and collaborating with other NPOs, which is nonprofit organizations in the space as well. So that is the what. When we are live, we're active. I have a personal goal. I don't want to start an official organization and have guest speakers and do all of that until I can podcast and just put out consistent content for 3 months, because when the organization starts, I don't want it to fall off. So I want to get into a good and healthy habit, but I have a very creative and good vision for what I want it to be after I get consistent, after I'm able to maintain my balance. So maybe it's September now, September, October, November, plan December, do planning throughout the same period, and hopefully next year, right, we can start transitioning my brand and my podcast into an official organization or entity. Mental Health Awareness Month is in May. I also realized I talk so fast. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm nervous. But Mental Health Awareness Month is in May, so maybe we'll launch then. But just stay tuned with that. And if you want to help in any way, shape, or form, you're listening to these, shoot me a text. Reach out to me via phone, 678-756-3094. My Instagram is _Chris Clements. You can reach out there. Follow the socials on Instagram. I believe the handle is Your Peace of Mind __. And then on TikTok, it's __ Your Peace of Mind. The only difference is where the underscores are. Unfortunately, all of my handles aren't the same right now because different people have different handles. But one day we'll get that streamlined. Where does it take place? I typically pick the guest speakers of who comes on here. I wanted to be tailored and branded towards my podcast and my brand and my identity of the podcast and organization. But if you ever have an idea or a topic and want to get on here and speak and commune and converse, let me know and we can figure out how our practices best align. Why? Mental health has impacted me and affected me a lot from June 2022 to July 2023. And me being a person, me being a man, me being a black man, me in the different areas and spheres of my life, whether that's corporate America, whether that is romantic, whether that is intellectual, like it impacts all of us. So I just felt overly passionate that this is one of my callings in life, just to like shed light into this area on a consistent basis and provide people with the opportunities and resources and knowledge and just affirmations that they might want and or need, that they're not the only one going through something. So just keeping that in mind. And we're doing that through podcasting right now, through communication. I post on Instagram, I post on TikTok, I post YouTube shorts, I have my podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, all of the major platforms that you can think of, Pandora Music, stuff like that. So give it a listen, check it out. Let me know if you have any thoughts, tips, and ideas for that. So without further ado, I wanted to quickly get through our intro. The subject: why can consistency be so hard? I think that the first thing I have on my list is mental block. Like, you not thinking that you can achieve what you want to achieve because of what you've been through in your life. I know that that's me, so I'm not going to project. But even podcasting, like when I get out of a groove, I feel so awkward and weird getting back into a groove because I feel like embarrassed that I fell off or that I'm not keeping it going. But one, I'm trying to do so many different things at one time, and it makes me think like, what should I be doing all at one time? And two, it's like, can I really accomplish the goals and dreams and visions and wild aspirations that I have planted inside my head? And it can be discouraging sometimes when you see people on those social media platforms that are doing it. So it's like, there's no way I can get to that level. But you have to keep going. You have to keep trying. You have to keep learning and looking at the analytics and talking to people who are doing what you want to do, and find those one or two people who are willing to like slow down a little bit to support and help. But I definitely have and had a mental block with consistency with my podcast, with being in the gym, because of my insecurities with my weight. What else? Probably other stuff, but that's why consistency is hard for me. That mental block and not feeling like I can actually achieve like what I'm thinking of, which is not true at all, and I know that. But like debunking some of them old habits and building some of those new habits. So that's the first thing that I would say and reiterate. Jumping to the second bullet point, it's because like you might not see no progress, or you might not have that instant reward or that instant gratification, so you don't feel motivated to be consistent. And I think your intention of why you're doing things has to work with your brain. I see some people on TikTok say that, yeah, I go to the gym to look bigger, that way people are more attracted to me, and that works for them. That doesn't work for me. At first I travel, you know what, I'm gonna get big, so people are like, you're big, and then I lose motivation. Like for me, I've more so thought about it as my headquarters, my HQ, to like text people back, to send my emails, to respond to people, to listen to a podcast, to, I don't know, just start my day. It's like how I start my day, and that motivates me to go to the gym because I'm a business oriented person. So I like using that time to do whatever I need to do, to think through my thoughts before majority of the world gets up. The other early risers get up at that time, but that's why I feel more motivated to go to the gym. I woke up at like 7:30 and I was like, boom, gym time, and it felt great. Tomorrow's leg day. I love leg day because it's easier for me. My legs are pretty strong, so I'm gonna challenge them a little bit more. But that's another reason why consistency can be so hard. Just like that no progress / instant reward. So I think that's something to offset that for me is like your intentionality while you're doing it. And if that reason doesn't work, not tricking your brain, but thinking about it in a different way of what else can motivate you. Bullet point 3, because we got like 8. Getting those from other things. I don't know what that means. Honestly, I don't know what I was trying to say. Getting those from other things. Why can consistency be so hard? I don't think I meant to say that. Getting those from other things. Let's skip it. The fourth one is self-doubt. Not feeling like you can achieve, kind of going back to my second bullet point of no progress / instant reward. You'd be like, okay, I'm not going to be consistent because there's no way this is going to work out. And you feel embarrassed to talk to people about something that you want to achieve. I know that I have. I know that I do, depending on what the topic and subject is. And when I look back, the biggest thing is being a sponge, being willing to ask those questions, fail fast, fail quick, learn. And that way you can like optimize your time. Time is such a valuable trait, man. Time we don't get back. So just like where you're putting your energy, where you're putting your time, like where you're putting your investments, social investments, personal investments, all different types of investments is just so big. And I think that that can be difficult when we like have self-doubt. So like turning self-doubt into self-love and what that looks like, starting with gratitude journals, thinking of some things you are thankful for, whether that's like waking up in the day, or whether that's like, I don't know, just being able to communicate, use your legs. Like, no matter how hard your life is, there is something you can be thankful for, something that you can be grateful for, something that you can be positive about, even if it's a small win. So it's like I really appreciate that, and that's something that made consistency hard for me, and something that still is hard for me, at least from the physical aspect. You know what I'm saying? But I'm debunking those thoughts and knowing that I can achieve what I want to achieve, and talking to the people who have achieved or are achieving what I want to achieve, and being vulnerable and letting them know how I feel about certain things. And I was very surprised when I like got some positive feedback and reception. If you just get past that mental hurdle and like ask, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people have been there that day. Eventually, my day is to get like bigger and stay in the gym consistently. And when people one day ask me like, dang, how do you do this, how do you do that, I'll know like, wow, like I'm on the other side now, and I remember how I once felt, how I once was. So just keeping that in mind is really, really big. Next, comparisons. Why consistency can be hard. We do not know the roots. Think about a tree. You see all of the, you see, what do you see? You see the trunk, I think. You see the main part of the tree. You have the roots at the bottom, which you don't see. You have the branches and the leaves, and that's what everybody sees and flaunts on social media, Instagram, TikTok, but you don't see how much work people are putting it in the background. You don't see how much time, how much energy, how much heartbreak, how much disappointment, how much failure that people have, whether that's with anything, applying for jobs, you know what I'm saying, talking to different religious figures or spiritual figures, or like family members, friends, like colleagues, like promotions or lack thereof. Like, people don't place everything that they don't get online, or everything that they've been through. So we have to be careful of like going on social media and seeing what everybody's doing well, but not seeing like the challenges. We don't speak about that as consistently. So when we just see positivity and then we compare ourselves to the negativity, it's such a different atmosphere. And majoring in digital marketing has shown me just how scary the mind can work, because we had to watch all of these certified videos about how people are thinking about their own lives, and like how people think negatively, which is why I do cleanses every couple of months, because I'm supposed to be aware and acknowledging of those things, and it can still impact me. So for people who don't have a specialized or certified area of expertise in that, I can definitely see how it would impact them even worse. So just being mindful of that. The next thing that I want to talk about, because I still don't know what getting those from other things mean, I'm literally just gonna have to like erase that bullet point. I hope it wasn't like important, y'all. I'm sorry. Just act like I didn't say that. Working through the why, so you can be a well-oiled machine. Like, why you want to be consistent in that area. Maybe some of the reasons why you're not being consistent or being grounded in that area is because it's not really something that you should be doing. It's not something that you want to do. It's something that you're doing because other people are doing, or they're doing it at the timeline of what you think you should be doing it as, or what you envision as. It's like things happen in our life unique and customized and personalized for a certain reason. So like, vibe, relax, evaluate, self-reflect, retrospect. Like, why do I want to do this? What am I looking to get out of this? What am I looking to put into this? You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it as like, what am I getting out? What can I give back? And why am I trying to do this? Is it money? Is it notoriety? Is it fame? Is it networks, connections? And I think once we develop the why, it helps us start the machine so we can move on an efficient basis. Now, why I want to go to the gym, I want to be healthy too. That way I can build a positive habit, because I'm not going to say nothing negative comes from the gym, but like you pumping your blood cells, getting your brain working and thinking, spending quality time with yourself, like just having those quiet mornings, you staying fit as your bones and body is growing older will also keep you looking physically healthy as well, versus worrying about doing that later is very, very important. So it's like the why is just so important, and why we do anything and everything, small and large in life, and just being mindful of what that looks like as time goes on. Um, the next thing that I have that I'm probably going to put in my Instagram tip is like, what tips do you have for me and others? I think that moving forward, I really want to find a way to make my podcast more engaging, make the comments more engaging, see what other people have, what other thoughts that people have. I love to give like tips, knowledge, mentorship, advice, but I know that I'm not the only one who has like advice and perspective. So like, what do you have? Like, I really want y'all to start commenting, putting it in the comments, adding some different thoughts, challenge some of my thought process. This is supposed to be an open environment, an inclusive environment. I like to speak from my point of view, unless I have like a licensed psychologist or psychiatrist or therapist on the line who can actually like certify it through their quantifiable research. But let me know what worked for you, what didn't work for you, like what thoughts you have about certain aspects and pieces. That's what this is supposed to be, to show others that we all go through similar yet customizable things. So I just want to be mindful about that. And the boop, 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 the takeaway from this lesson. I think that the takeaway from this lesson is consistency can be so hard through a numerous amount of things. Us having mental blocks, us sometimes worrying about instant gratification or instant rewards, us comparing ourselves to other people, the self-doubt, working through the why, and are we doing these things because other people are doing these things, or are we doing these things because we actually want to do these things? And like, my piece of advice, my tidbit, my nugget is really to like stop, pause in the world, think about everything that you're doing in life and ask yourself like, why? Like, why am I doing this? Do I want to be doing this? What is the cost benefit analysis of doing this? Maybe you just like that because it's fun. You know what I'm saying? It gives you that hit of dopamine of like, this is exhilarating. This allows me to express who I am. Maybe you're doing this thing because of money. Compare that to the time that you're putting in and ask yourself like, is it worth it? But I really think that consistency can be hard. Me podcasting is something that I love to do, and I even take breaks every now and then. I need to stop thinking that that's a bad thing. I'm not a robot, you know. Life got difficult, work got difficult, the balance got difficult, but I'm back because I love it, and I want everyone to know that it can be so hard to be perfect, right? It can be hard to be perfect, to think that you can't miss a beat with certain things of what you envision your life to be. And what I realized is that we actually take a step back and really plan out what we think is feasible and don't bite off more than we can chew, we end up moving a lot more efficient than we would if we just try to pile everything on all at one time. So follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Instagram is at yourpeaceofmind_, and TikTok is yourpeaceofmind_. So the underscore is in just two different places. I really, really hope you enjoyed this episode. This is a shorter episode, which I'm glad. I'm at the 18-minute mark on my laptop. And I really do. Let me add this one piece here. I want y'all to like put in the comments, if you have time, energy, just like what helps you or what helped you be more consistent with anything in life, whether that's like going to church or like family communication or like friends or like applying to jobs, just being more motivated. I can't speak. Being more motivated and being more consistent in like what you're doing. What helps you to be more consistent? That way we can make it an inclusive environment vibe for those who are like looking for those areas as well. Without further ado, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Peace of Mind, where we value our what? Our health, our body, and our time. Chris out.
I know why you came. Heard I had that fire. Well, welcome to the flame.